If we haven't met, I'm Lauren, and my craft room is pretty much always messy. I clean it when I have totally caught up with work, which is not often. And then I do a couple of big projects, and my toddler comes in and empties all of the drawers of supplies onto the floor, and less than a week later, it is a disaster again. We have reached the time of year when I start thinking that if it gets messy this fast, something's wrong. I might need to reorganize things and find more places to put my tools and supplies. So today I'm going to share some of the tips and tricks I've learned and some of the ways that I am currently solving my craft room organization problems. Number one, if you are organizing your supplies for the first time, just completely starting from scratch, whether that means you just bought a bunch of new supplies that you need to organize, or you just moved and you need to figure out how you want to organize things in a new space, I like to empty out everything I have onto the floor and sort them into piles by category. I actually did this for my current craft room when we first moved in a few years ago, before there was any furniture in here at all. I had a totally empty room, so I just dumped everything, all of my craft supplies, all of my tools, and I sorted them by the kind of craft so that when I want to do a project, I can go to a specific drawer or shelf or box and have everything I needed in there. Doing this helps in a number of ways. It lets you see how many containers you need and how big those containers need to be. If your sewing pile is enormous, you should probably have quite a bit of storage for sewing supplies. But if you only have a small amount of things like paper clips and other office supplies, you know that you can have a smaller container or drawer for those things. And then once you have designated where to put each of those specific piles, put them away and label them if you can. I have this big set of cube shelves that I got from Michael's, and all of the drawers that are closed up have a little place where you can stick a label, and that's been extremely helpful because I actually remember where things are supposed to go, and I know exactly where to put them back when I'm done with them. That way you can find things quickly, and it also encourages you to put things away when you're done with them, which is, I think, one of the reasons why my craft supplies are always so messy. I don't always put them back. So let's just skip ahead a few years. Let's just say you found a place for everything and you put everything away, and years have gone by and it's not working for you anymore for whatever reason. Over time, as you are using these supplies, you might notice that some of the supplies don't get used as often as other ones. If there is a drawer that contains a kind of craft supply that you have not used in years, consider cleaning that out and making space for things that you use more often. I know that I have plenty of space for my craft supplies, but you wouldn't be able to tell by seeing how many things are out of their place right now. And so that tells me that my current situation is not working for me. So I actually looked at all of these drawers that I have. I can tell you, I have not done any knitting since I moved here. I have not done anything with polymer clay since I moved here. So I actually emptied out the knitting drawer and the polymer clay drawer. I took those supplies, went through them all, got rid of anything that I thought I would probably never need, and moved the rest of them into a big clear bin that I could put down in our basement. I'm always doing a lot of different kinds of craft projects, which is why it's so great to have storage for a lot of different kinds of supplies here. But I don't use all of them very often. So if I get an idea for a knitting project or a polymer clay project, all I have to do is go down in the basement and get those supplies. But they don't need to be in here all the time. Going through the drawers that I haven't opened in a while also gives me an opportunity to get rid of anything that I think I probably won't use again. That leaves me so much more space for journaling supplies, which I've been collecting a lot more of and I use way more often lately. The next thing that I like to do when I'm reorganizing my craft space is to look at the things that typically get left out. That information is important because it will tell me what isn't working about my current organizational setup. I can tell you right now, I have a lot of gift wrapping supplies on my floor left over from Christmas that I still haven't moved. That is because the spot for my gift wrap is in my closet, and my closet was a complete disaster until about yesterday. Knowing that I needed to do something about the current location of the gift wrap led me to my closet. I cleaned out so much stuff that I really don't need anymore, and now I have a lot more spaces to put things. Another thing that ends up on my floor a lot lately are spools of ribbons, and it's not that they don't have a place, it's that the place is very low to the ground, and they are the first thing that my son goes for when he comes into this room. He unravels the spools of ribbons, and it's just so much fun. It keeps him happy for a while, and then I have to spend like half an hour re-rolling up all the spools of ribbons. So that tells me they need a new location and fast, or my room is just going to continue to be a giant ribbon-covered disaster. I also don't use my collection of ribbon that often, so it doesn't need to be in quite so accessible a location. So I found a shoebox filled it up with ribbon spools, and put them up higher in my closet where my kid cannot reach them. Also, my desk is covered in pens, markers, and other writing utensils because I've been doing a lot of journaling lately. I use them all really often, and so they just kind of stay on my desk. And that tells me that my current setup for pens is full, first of all, so I don't have a way to put things back into it. You might remember the Hogwarts Castle desk organizer that I made here on my channel a few years ago. I still love it, but it is full. So that tells me that I need more pen storage, and I'm working on that at the moment. That way, the next time you get the urge to leave that item on the floor or on your desk, you won't. You will have a better place to put it, and it will keep things cleaner a little bit longer, hopefully. If you find yourself working on more than one project at a time, designate a place like a tray or a box that you can move what you are currently working on to keep it to the side. I often find myself running into trouble when I have a really messy desk, but I need to clean it off so that I can film a DIY video for a different project. But I don't necessarily want to put back everything that I was just using because the next time I want to work on that project, I'll have to go and find everything again. So I bought one of these 3-tiered carts that I see on Pinterest all the time, and I'm using the bottom 2 tiers for projects that I am currently working on. That way they're right here and I can grab them and move them back onto my desk when I'm ready to start again. I mentioned that I just reorganized my closet, and something that I found when I was going through there is that I don't need a lot of the stuff that was in there, and I hadn't seen it in probably 2 years. So something that I've just learned from that experience is that you should resist the urge to pile things in your closet. Honestly, I find myself doing that most often when I'm cleaning and I come across something kind of large that I don't really need again immediately, and so it just gets pushed in there. But when you have just a giant pile and it's so easy to shut that closet door and not think about it, you're not going to be able to find anything in there. It's going to take a lot of work and effort just to go back through and get that thing out when you need it again. So to me, I feel like that's not a really good use of space. I could be using that closet a lot more often, and I have a lot of stuff in here. I need places to put it. Instead, maybe install some shelves so that you can put things in places where you can see them and they're not all piled on top of one another, and you can pull one thing out without the whole pile crashing down in an avalanche of craft supply mayhem. I actually acquired a broken set of cube shelves that used to be in our front hall closet, but we bought new cube shelves for that. And so I thought I probably could still use the broken set, and so I put them in my closet, and now I can actually reach a bunch of the stuff that's in there. It's way more functional, crossing my fingers that it doesn't just become a giant mess again really quickly. Especially if your craft space is shared with another room in your house like mine was for a really long time, it's so important that you have functional places that you can put your craft supplies that you're using most often. Also, don't be afraid to reorganize things if your craft space stops working for you like mine did. I find that my interests are constantly evolving, and so my craft space and the way that I organize them needs to evolve as well. I know that it can also help to see other makers' spaces. I was looking at all kinds of different pictures and videos online in order to get inspiration for my current reorganization plan. My craft room is currently a giant mess because I'm still in the process of reorganizing it, but I did film a craft room tour if you would like to see what it looked like back when it was clean. I will put a link to that video in the cards above as well as in the video description below if you would like to see it. In the comments below, tell me if you have any great organizing tips and hacks that have helped you. Everyone needs something different, has different kinds of craft supplies, and is working in different kinds of spaces, so maybe we can all learn from each other a little bit here. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. I hope that this video was helpful to you, and I'm working on making a bunch more content to help out fellow creatives, so make sure you stick around so you can see that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon!